ladies and gentlemen, it's your boy Tiny Tim, and I am back. And guess what? You know why we here. You read the title. We are still talking about Secret Invasion, Marvel's Secret Invasion on Disney Plus. If you haven't already, go check it out. This is episode 4. And like I said last week, they leave us with questions, and then they answer questions, and then they leave us with more questions. But I will say, in the last couple episodes, Tiny been making some predictions that's been coming somewhat true. Somebody else is a double-double. Guy is gonna flip. I said it here first.
Braddock is gonna use that against him, just as he used Gaia against Talos.
So, as you can tell from the little piece of clip and piece of what I'm saying right now, Gaia flipped. Gaia flipped. Here we are in episode 4, and Gaia 100% says to Talos, I flipped. But what we did get to see in the beginning of this episode is Gaia's alive. Now, last week, I asked the question, yo, is she really dead? Because, you know, we seen her turn into a Skrull. We don't know. But in the opening of this episode, we get to see a montage of her pretty much setting herself up for success and giving herself the Super Skrull injection. Now, this happened off screen. We didn't know this was happening. So while she was doing what she did a week before, she also grabbed the vial, put in the thing, hit the buzzer. Now, I gotta look at the screen, but I'm feeling like she only got one of the powers instead of all the powers. I don't know though. I gotta rewatch it. I gotta figure that out, because we see in the beginning of this episode, they show her lifeless body, Skrull version, just start healing by itself with Extremis. And I need to know more. I need to know more about that. But it's great that she's alive. You know, but I really thought, I thought it was going to be an emotional tug of war with Talos. But instead it was an emotional tug of war with us, the viewer, because later in the episode we see Talos get a little, I ain't fucking with it. Now I don't know, because, you know, it's Secret Invasion and there's Skrull and shit involved. I don't even know if Talos dead. I don't even trust it. I don't trust it. The only one I know definitively-ish is Maria Hill. That's it. I can't trust nothing else Marvel telling me until they get to the fucking point where they tell me the truth. I can't trust nothing else. Because look, Gaia comes back to life, sits on a park bench, and tells her father, this is what I did. Who's to say he don't need a machine? Who's to say all she had to do was give him a little yammy and then he's Super Skrull? We don't know. We won't know until next week. But I really, my words, they got some explaining to do. They better explain, because it seemed too quick. The same argument I had with the Maria Hill thing. She been around this whole time just to get wiped off the map right quick. Same thing with Gaia. Then again, though, you don't cast someone as well known, as big as actress as she is, as Emilia Clarke, to play Gaia and kill her off in 3 episodes. You don't do that. So it made sense. That's why I had my sneaky suspicion. Like, I don't know. She flipped. She got killed. But did she really die? I had more questions about Mrs. Fury, too. Like, what's up with you? But what they did do, and I appreciated this episode, and all the episodes, really, they given us flashbacks to tell the story. And Miz over there, Part of My Arrogance, said the same thing in their visual podcast. Go ahead and check them out. Go ahead and check out their episode 1 through 3 review. He did say, and I agree with him, I like the fact that they're giving us more Fury backstory. Not just the man behind the eye patch, the man in the shadows with the trench coat, the man who put the S.H.I.E.L.D. initiative together and is moving so many parts from behind the shadows. And I really like and appreciate where they're going with his backstory. So I say all that to say, in 95 through 97, that whole Talos bringing a handful of people, we got to find somewhere to live thing happened. The chick I've been calling Vera this whole time was also called Priscilla. I don't know if that's the chick who she took her identity, I can't remember. All I know is I've been calling her Vera. But in this episode, whether we call her Vera or Priscilla, listen, we get to see a flashback during the time that we knew existed. We knew it existed because it was right after the Battle of New York in 2012, the first Avengers movie. And we get to see, I guess, not really the beginning, but the start. Not really the start, just kind of I don't know how to word it, but yeah, pretty much the start of what we know as Fury to have his wife. That beginning happened right there. The little meeting in the cafe across the world, quoting poetry and stuff, and the hands on the table and all this stuff. So I'm like, all right. What I gather from that is Fury and Vera, which I'ma still keep calling until I find out a real name, they didn't get married until 2012. She's been on planet since 95, 97, whenever. So, all right, it's not been 30 years, but it's still been a long fucking time, okay, that he's been married to an alien woman. I don't know how to feel about it, but goes back to 2012, and she was so in awe that he got all of these different people together to protect the world, and this is this. Yeah, he'd been working on that since the 80s and 90s, so, you know. But I don't know, it's an eye-opener. I do appreciate the fact that they gave us that they told us that, and it played a bigger part later in the series, later in the episode, where that poem showed up again. And I'm going to touch on that in a second, but I really like the it's a flashback. I like the flashback touching on 2012 and the events shortly after, because she was already on planet and saw it on the news across the world. She was over in Europe somewhere watching the news. Oh, this is happening in New York. It's the Battle of New York 2012. Damn. Pretty sure Fury had something to do with it. Last week, before watching my review on episode 3, Q to Don, Sav, he says, man, Rhodey a Skrull. And I'm like, where's your proof? Right? I just didn't believe it. I didn't believe it. It was no way for me to believe it, okay? I didn't. I'm sitting there like, yo, where your proof? I don't even want to talk to you about it till you tell me the proof. So he gives me his proof, and the proof is shaky at best, but it made sense. But I ain't want to believe it, because back in Far From Home, No Way Home, one of the Spider-Man films, where he went to Peter Parker's field trip and gave him the glasses, or told him he pretty much got to stop Mysterio and whatever's going on over there in Europe. And the way he was talking to him, there is a theory floating around the internet that says that Fury was not Fury. That was Talos as Fury. And it was because of the things he was saying and how harsh and how abrasive he was. And it wasn't something that the Nick Fury that we know would have done. So he as in Q, he says, he references that. And I'm like, all right, okay, keep going. Then he goes, nah, the way he was talking to Fury at the cafe when he fired him, he was giving that same energy. He was a real spicy, man. He was real spicy. And I said, I'm like, all right, but when would Rhodes have been swapped out? And is Rhodes even then we start talking about how they can imitate people as long as that person is not going to be in the vicinity, because you don't want to confuse nobody. I thought I just seen you do this, blah, blah. This is pretty much the same shit that happened when they stormed the compound to get the dude to stop the launch the nuke in the second or third episode. All right, I get it. It's shaky. Episode 4, we see this motherfucker meets Mrs. Fury at the church, because she was supposed to get to the church on time at the end of last episode. This person that walks up on her, we don't see who it is till he sit down and holy cannoli, it's your boy Rhodes. Your boy Rhodes, again, talking spicy. So I say, PMA was right. They was right over there. That was a good observation. Good eye. But sat down, And he like, yo, man, he shit canned him and this. Now at that time, we still didn't see that was actually a scroll. What we saw was Rhodey sitting down with Mrs. Fury. But the way she was talking to him, at first I was like, she said something like, she said, don't you or shouldn't you or something like that. She said that made me think, wait a minute, is this Gravik playing Rhodes? And then she stopped herself, rephrased what she said, isn't that what we or some shit? And I'm like, all right, so is it Gravik or not? Right? Okay, cool. Not Rhodes, not Gravik. But still conspiring to kill Nick Fury. Before she went to go meet him, she had to go to a safe deposit box, pick up a little pistol, and take it home, whatever, to meet Fury. But she took it to the meet, met up with Rhodes, or the Skrull playing Rhodes, and he's again real harsh and real abrasive. Like, yeah, I shit canned him and he fired and this. I fired his ass. And I'm like, all right, now I see it. So after episode 3, I'm like, I don't know. But this sit down, before I even knew he officially was a Skrull, I'm like, oh, okay, now I see it. PMA was right. Mrs. Fury is in bed with the enemy, and that ain't Rhodes. That is not Rhodes. But the crazy thing is, during the whole church scene, Fury somehow bugged his wife. He bugged somebody, who I don't know, but he bugged. They didn't show that, but he bugged someone so he could hear the conversation. He's sitting on the bench listening to the conversation. That's one hell of a way to find out that either your lady cheating on you or your lady about to try to kill you. Like, it's fucking crazy. But the scene where she come home after the church visit and and they sit down, you want some tea? Oh, didn't you forget something? Oh no, man, I'm about to roll out. I ain't put that on. But you know, want some tea? Yeah, I'll take a cup. Okay. They sit down. That whole scene gave me vibes of, and I said it last week. I didn't say it like this, but I said it last week. Like, I know you lying, and you lying too. But we gonna act like we don't know each other lying. Now fuck all that. Them motherfucker. That whole scene played out like a scene from Mr. and Mrs. Smith with Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie, where they both knew they were spies and they both knew they was compromised, but they both loved each other to death, okay? And they fucked that house up. The whole scene, she pulled out her shit, bang. He pulled out his, put it on the table, bang. And like I was saying, I know you're gonna have to kill me or try to kill me with that pistol you got on you. And this. And she's all shocked. She ain't deny it. Wasn't no fighting, wasn't no denying. You gotta realize this is Nick motherfucking Fury. He knows all and sees all that he wants to know and see. So you don't be surprised. You should have fucking known better, right? Through that, they sitting there having a moment. And we get to see a reference to the 2012 cafe scene where they sitting there reciting the words of this poem, this quick little poem. It just feel like more of a haiku. But it's not a full, it's like a haiku. I feel like it's a haiku. But anyway, they sitting there reciting this poem, word for word each other, and then they start, in unison, and then blow. And the whole time I'm like, yo, did she get the best of Fury right here? And what I wanted to see, was they pan back, and she got a bullet through her fucking head, like, gow. And she started turning it back into a Skrull and slump over that cup of tea. But I did like the vibe of they both missed, and I feel like they both missed on purpose because Fury ain't that bad of a shot. I mean, he might be. I'm gonna get to that in a second. He might be that bad of a shot, but they both missed, and they both missed that way, right? One shot, and Fury go, man, I don't even know if we should get a divorce or what. Like, what should we do? Because that shit, should we get some counseling or what the fuck? Because that's crazy. Either way, I'm out. You on your own, bit. You on your own. But after that scene, though, it got me to thinking. It got me to thinking about what I just talked about, which was Rhodey coming in saying I fired him. It made me feel like, yo, was Fury really fired? Is that why nobody else was in that meeting with Fury and Rhodes? did Fury really lose his job? Did he really lose his credentials? Did the higher ups really say, fire this motherfucker? I don't think so. That's my opinion. I don't think they fired him. I don't think they officially got him off the books. I think that was the Skrull in Rhodey's place firing him to just pretty much take him off the board. Yeah, but I really feel like he gonna keep doing him, clearly, because he still got the tech. He can still find out whatever the fuck. So, yeah, I don't know what that does for me. I don't know where this goes. And like I said before, I thought it was gonna be a more of an emotional thing for Talos and Gaia, or Talos losing Gaia, and then Fury realizing his wife was on the other side. But what we got from my prediction was that Gaia's alive, so there was no emotional tug there. But Fury did find out that his wife on the other side of the tracks, and now he got to do something about it. I don't know if it's a divorce-worthy thing. I mean, it is divorce-worthy. You try to shoot me. But they have a difference of opinion when it comes to to the future of the people of the Skrull Nation. I don't think he's fired because this motherfucker pulled up to the president convoy, and the soldiers knew who this nigga was. Like, yo, Fury, what you doing here? Don't worry about it, man. I'm trying to help you. So I just feel like they know who he is, and they know he's still an active agent. So I don't think he was fired. I don't think he was officially fired. He wasn't excommunicated, like fired. So I don't think so. What we did get to see, before the shootout, we got to see the only thing that led to the shootout is the nano trackers that he put in the fucking, what do you call it? Uncle Willie's son, what do you call it? Cat daddy, fat daddies, whatever that shit he gave him in Rhodey's hotel room. He actually there was actual liquid nano trackers in him. And I feel like that scene, first of all, that scene was, again, it's always great to get them two on the same screen. The week before, episode 2, where he fired him. Episode 3, I don't think it was on the same, or did he fire him in 3? I can't remember. Either way, where he fired him, that scene in the cafe, then he showed up in his joint all bubbly, like, yo, man, I think we got off on the wrong foot, man. I didn't like the way we left things last time we spoke. And I'm like, all right, Fury. Now Fury playing the game because he knows that motherfucker ain't legit. Who that Skrull is, we don't know. But Fury knows that that's not Rhodey, right? So he's sitting there playing all coy with him and this. And pretty much, he tried to not really strong arm him by giving his job back, but he did. It was a little bit of a quid pro quo strong arm type thing, like, yo, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna keep my mouth shut, but you gotta give my job back. I got valuable intel, say it's a Skrull super duper close to the president. And I think the look on fake Rhodes' face was that, how would you know that? Like, there was a little bit of like, oh shit, he on to me, but now I gotta play it off type shit. So I think that's why he came back the way he did. He like, what you can do, you gonna leave that bottle and you gonna get to stepping. Before I get this. Okay. Talking a lot of shit. But he get back to the car, and like they joked about it. He was like, nah, some nano trackers. Other than that, nano, whatever. Nanotech, whatever, right? He joked about it with Rhodey, and it got back in the car with Talos and like, yeah, nano trackers. Oh, it actually is a fucking thing. So cool. They get to watch and follow it. I did not expect them to be able to get close enough to this convoy. Now, they said early in the episode that they want to make it look like it was the Russians that attacked. And this. They're legit. The whole nuclear launch that was foiled a couple days ago, they're going against. They're like, oh, yo, that didn't work. We got to try this. They're about to try to assassinate the president and make it look like the Russians did it. I'm like, all right, that's fucking ballsy. Gravik has got some fucking balls on him. He's really trying to get this started because that's all a part of his plan. Get the humans to kill each other so we can inherit all of this. It's ours now. That shit ain't gonna work. That ain't gonna work. It ain't gonna work because Fury showed up out of nowhere. Him and Talos took that dusty ass Range Rover that's kitted out and drove that motherfucker through the woods. Off-road, off-road, pulled up, popped the trunk. So I enjoyed that scene. I don't know if you can tell. I enjoyed that scene. But what I did not enjoy about the scene was so there have been people in this world, in the MCU, talking about aliens, and they don't know for sure, but you know, okay, in the MCU, they don't know for sure that there's aliens amongst us. But much like in the real world, there are conspiracy theorists that aliens living among us. Like, there's even that chick on the plane, most recently, talk about it. That motherfucker's not real. Okay, show the motherfucker that's not real. But yeah, it's people in the world today that actually believe it's aliens walking amongst us. I'm not saying they right or wrong, but what I will say is, Talos is trying to help. He's trying to help the president because he understands the whole peaceful accord and all this other stuff. Gets shot in the process. Now, I couldn't understand. I wrote down in my notes, is he dying? Because he was losing his face. I couldn't tell if he was dying or if he was just severely injured. And then, you know, he's trying to break the window while everybody's standing guard, and this random guard like, hey, yo, back the fuck up from the president. I don't understand how Nick Fury was able to stop that amidst all this gunfire. No, he with me. That would make me think Fury still got a job because all these motherfuckers think he's still active. So, he's with me. Okay. Breaks the glass. He's a motherfucking alien. Couldn't even break that glass. So that means that's some strong ass fucking tempered glass, bulletproof shit. Whether he was hurt or not, no, he was full on swinging before he got shot. Yow, 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 and still wasn't cracking that bitch. So, I didn't like that because I get it, you're not Super Skrull, and I get it that that's some real thick ass glass, but you are alien. You already superhuman, so you should have broke that on like try 3. But okay, you know, you should have cracked it on 2, broke it on 3, heroics. But nah, you hit it 1,000,001 times, and you got shot in the process. It took too long. Put your head down, sir. What we did get to see is the guard who at first was about to shoot Talos, and Nick Fury was like, no, he with us. But here's my problem with that. Nick Fury should have never left him. I understand the president is priority. But this is a motherfucking alien species that technically the world don't know exists. Technically, this particular species. We know about aliens, and we know about Thor, and we know about otherworldly beings. This is after Thanos and the snap and shit. So people realize it's possible, but they just thought this particular alien could just lay amongst us. And, you know, the motherfucker picks him up. For whatever reason, this is why a lot of people think that Sam Jackson's character, Nick Fury, is a Skrull. Going back to my episode 1 question of how do Skrull know? How did Nick Fury know? How did the Skrull know that person that they impersonated is a Skrull? And if so, which Skrull? That's my question, right? That was my question, episode 1. How did Fury know that this motherfucker was not the person who tried to shoot Talos before? Because he looked like he was giving a helping hand. He was giving a helping hand. So all of a sudden he turned around, put him down. Put him down. Nick Fury, and she was right. Mrs. Fury said what she said to the person in impersonating Rose. Oh, man, let old age take care of Fury. He on his way out. Old Fury would have pop. It wouldn't have been no question. This particular Fury, talking about put him down. Put him down. Got Talos stabbed up. Ran through, man. We ain't got no time for that shit. That's bull jive, man. Hesitating and shit, man. Pop, man. Come on, man. And then ain't nobody else think it was crazy because they are behind enemy lines, but they have protection that are American soldiers there to protect the president and his assets. And then backups coming. I couldn't tell whether that was motherfucking Russian backup or American backup, but choppers was coming in, and we talking about Black Hawks was coming in to light that shit up. And you know, didn't really go. I don't think it went as planned, but what I will say is I'm glad Fury grabbed the president, because what I thought was they were gonna go for the president and they were gonna switch places. They took the camera off the president. I don't trust that that's the president no more. I'm one of those people in the magic show where if you telling me look over here, yeah, cool, peripheral, I'm looking that way, but I'm also looking down here. Because what your other hand doing? That misdirection bullshit with the whole president hanging upside down, and then all of a sudden look over here why this is happening. The president not real, dog. Somebody swap with him. Bold prediction of the week. Bold prediction of the week. The president is not real. That's my bold prediction. I could be wrong all day and all night long, but the president, that's my bold prediction for episode 4 going into 5. That's my bold prediction. President not real. You got to see Talos get stabbed up, and he already had a bullet wound in him, but he's fully turned back into him, no human form, and he hobbling and gets ran through. We don't see where he gets stabbed at or what he gets stabbed with. We just see the and hear the right. But I don't know. Is Talos dead? I don't think he's gonna succumb to his injuries. I really don't. I don't think he has extremis. I don't think Gaia got him a sample, but I really don't think he's gonna die. I don't think Talos is dead. And in my notes, I even have Talos dead, question mark, because I don't believe it. I don't believe that he's dead. But in the off chance that he is, I will go back to my episode 3 theory of, if he is dead, Gaia, having known what his plan was, is going to step in and be a driving force to help Nick Fury. And Nick Fury's going to be all about what your father would have wanted, what your father would have wanted. That's what I think it's going to be. Nick Fury's going to take on the fatherly role for Gaia, because Gaia don't got no parents, and it's going to be her driving force to say, I'm officially done with Gravik and his bullshit, because she is anyway. She's burned. She's got to go anyway. So now she's going to hide out with Nick Fury and them. And it's going to be them two against the world. That's what I think. That's what I think. That's the only way this goes forward. Unless he's alive, in which case then it's going to be all 3 of them. But Gravik doesn't know that she is alive. Gravik also thinks that Talos is dead. Only person living is allegedly the president and Nick Fury. So it'd be dope if Talos was alive. But I really feel like if he is dead, that emotional thing that I was talking about we might get is going to happen within Gaia, because she just started to know him and understand him-ish. Yeah, like me sitting here with you, let you know what side I'm on, man. It is what it is. But what I want to know is, what's your plan? So he told her his plan on the bench early in the episode, and it's just like, you know, I just really feel like emotionally it's gonna be a thing where, you know, she gonna pick up arms to avenge her daddy, and that's gonna be her driving force to take over for Gravik, or help to kill Gravik. She's gonna get Nick Fury help to kill Gravik. It's gonna be a Gravik Gaia Nick Fury scene, and she gonna put a bullet in him and all this other stuff, and it's gonna end the season out, and boom. Secret Invasion is gonna translate over into Armor Wars, because you do understand Rhodes is supposed to be in Armor Wars. Armor Wars are supposed to have Riri Williams in it with technology. If the Skrull and or Super Skrull get Iron Man tech built by Riri Williams, you hear me? You hear me? We got a problem on our hands. And I thought the whole premise of Armor Wars was the legality of it all, because everybody is going to think that is Tony Stark tech, but really it's Riri Williams being an MIT grad, being so fucking smart that, you know. So I want to see how that goes. I don't know for sure. That's what I thought the premise of Armor Wars coming out later was going to be, but I really feel like now with Rhodes being a Skrull, this has to unfold. They have to answer that question. Is Rhodes a Skrull? If he is, where is he for real? Well, we know Rhodes is a Skrull because we saw the shower scene, and technically the person playing Rhodes is a female. It looks like it's a female Skrull because she had on a towel when she's looking at her skin in the mirror. She did a wipe it challenge, wipe, and turn back into Rhodey. So what I want to see going forward, I'm gonna close it out. What I do want to see going forward is they answer the question about Rhodes for real. Is he dead? Not dead, but is he fully taken over, as in this Skrull is in his place? That means this person is like Rhodes is out of the picture at their compound somewhere, or is, whatever. Is Talos dead? If so, is Gaia gonna, pick up a fucking gun and go at the Gravik? I still want to know what happens with Mrs. Fury, what her role is. I still don't feel like she's fully committed. She might be an ace in the hole. For Fury, might be a little pocket change. Like, yo, I know I shot at you. I love you. The whole point of that last wish was to not hurt you, so I ain't breaking no promises. But Gravik gonna be over there at this time. I just feel like that's what it's gonna be. Okay? Because she grew to love Fury. They have a connection and whatever. But I don't know. But next week, we're gonna find out the answers to all the questions. We're going to get answered. We're probably going to have some more. But I'm enjoying this show, and they keep bringing the heat. I don't know what I'm going to do with Nick Fury's face, seeing Talos get stabbed and dropped in the battlefield. I just don't know. That hurt me. Like, yo, Talos, we been here. This has been our thing, 95, since way back. Four flats on a Cadillac. I just feel like, But we shall see. So next week, tune in, and we're going to find out together. But until then, check me out on all socials at Tiny Tim Gaming 3. Where you social. For the logo, if you don't see the logo, it ain't me. Check me out here and over on Facebook at Tiny Tim Gaming. And until the next time, it's your boy Tiny. Oh!